Okay guys, so since I went ahead and explained everything to you, what I would work with them beforehand, and the things that I would practice before I went, I thought I would also show you guys a couple things that I'm going to do every single time I'm taking my dog somewhere new. Not only is this a great way to get them kind of back under control before you ever even let them out of the vehicle, but this is actually one of the items that you're going to see on like a CGC urban test or your public access test, which is a controlled unload from the vehicle. So if you're doing the public access test, they're going to want you to do both controlled load and unload. So I'll show you what both of those should look like, and I'll show you why we kind of want to do it, right? So what I'm going to do first to do the load is I'm going to recall the dog over right next to me. My truck is right here. So I'm going to recall the dog. Hershey, come. And they come over. And then when they get, I'm going to tell them to sit. Good. Stay. I'm going to tell them to stay. And then I'm going to go ahead and try to open the door. Wait. Hershey. Sit. Good boy. So if he breaks that sit, I'm just going to go ahead and close the door. I'm going to put him back in his sit. I can tell him to wait. Okay. And he's going to load up. So that's pretty simple. That's how you're going to do the load up into the car, right? We're going to have them sit and wait, open the door. Again, if they pop up at any time during that, we're just going to go ahead and close the door, reset them, tell them to wait, try to open the door again. If you have a dog that is popping up immediately every single time, you might only get as far as popping the handle when they pop up. If that's the case, it's okay. Just slow down, move a little bit slower. You can even have a treat in front of their face, encouraging them to stay sat if you really want to. But generally speaking, I find that closing the door is the best way, especially if the dog is really excited, because we are taking that away from them, telling them, okay, if you're going to get up and act like a crazy person, we're not going to go. So when I'm going to get him back out of the car, it's going to be pretty much the exact same thing in the reverse. I'm going to start to open the door. I'm going to tell him, wait. Now, since we're just at home, wait. I'm not too worried about it, but normally this is when I would put their leashes on, maybe collect their water bowl, do whatever I have to do. And then once I'm ready, I can step out of the way and say, okay, free. Good boy. And they'll go ahead and get out. So obviously, because Hershey is really good at that, we do it every single day and have been doing it for a very long time. I'm not going to do very much rewarding for him because, again, he's so excited to get into the car that loading up is the reward in that situation, and then getting back out to his freedom is the reward for him doing it nicely on the way back out. If I were to, the only difference with getting them out of the car versus putting them in is if he goes to break that position before I release him to come out, I'm not going to close the door because then he's just going to get more excited. And it also makes it harder because I have to peek into the door when I'm letting him out, right? So rather than doing that, I'm just going to step into his way and block it. If he tries to jump out early, I'm just going to step in the way, give him that no reward marker, tell him to wait. And then I'm going to slowly try to give more space for the door. You should be able to have your door completely wide open and you be 5 to 10 feet away without the dog jumping out of the car. So again, we'll say, Hershey, come. Sit. Hershey. Thank you. Wait. Load up. Good boy. Okay, apparently Bruce is going this time too. And then again, like I said, we'll just go ahead, close the door. Good job, boys. You did so good. And we're gonna come back out. Come on. They think we're going for a ride now. Come on, let's go. Good boys. Thank you. So obviously they didn't want to come out as it is, so I didn't need to tell them to wait on that one. But the other couple exercises that I wanted to share with you guys are ones that I'm going to use while I'm actually out walking with them. These cues are all very similar to ones that you're teaching on leash or like as basic obedience anyways. However, the way that I apply them is slightly different when I'm working off leash. So the first one that I'm going to show you is the with me command. So when I'm using the with me command, it's pretty much going to be an off leash heel for my dogs. Whether I'm coming up on some people or maybe a car needs to get by us, it doesn't matter. I need my dog to be in very close proximity to me and also in a specific location. So we're going to teach the with me command. That's essentially the same cue that I use for my healing command. And I teach it pretty much the same way. But what it will look like so if I'm doing with me, obviously I want them on one side of my body. So with me, yes, good boy. With me, hey, yeah, this way, with me, good boy. So again, I'm just treating him every couple steps or so. If you've already worked on this with your healing or loose leash walking, it will make it so much easier. But again, if we're in a new location and they're not on the leash, I just like to do it at least a little bit right at the beginning to get their brain into working mode. Let them know they still have to pay attention. The other one that I'm going to use is kind of similar to with me. It means that I need them in close proximity. We're still moving, but I don't necessarily need them in a specific location. A lot of times I'll use this like if I'm working with a group of dogs and it's kind of like a tighter area, or maybe there's like a group of people like over there a little bit and I just don't want them to get nervous about like my multiple dogs. Maybe there's like a playground like 50 feet away and I don't want the dogs to even be tempted to go over there. Any situation where like I just want them in close proximity but not necessarily in a specific like position, I'll go ahead and use the stay close. I'm going to teach the stay close very similar to with me, except like I said, I'm not really going to require them to be in any specific spot. So it'll just be more like this. Stay close. But again, I'm not really encouraging him to stay right on. Good boy. Good, stay close. Good boy. I'm not really encouraging him to stay right on one side. Good boy. But he's within 5 to 10 feet of me at all times. So all this is doing is showing that no matter where I go, no matter what I'm doing, good boy, I want them to stay in close proximity with me. We can also use our stay close command if we're coming up on a situation where we might need to use like our weight, like I'm about to show you, or if you know that upcoming you're going to have to put them on their leashes. That way, you know, you're not all of a sudden at that spot and you're trying to recall several dogs at the same time. You already have them in close proximity. Then you can just tell them stop, like to stop or whatever, and put their leashes on, and you already have them right there. How I'm going to use weight whenever I'm working with dogs who are off leash is so that they know anytime they come up to a roadway, a crosswalk, a sidewalk, doesn't matter what it is. If it's something that people would be walking on or crossing on, I'm going to teach the dogs that they need to stop and wait and listen for my direction. So if I was walking this for the first time or working on this for the first time, I'm already going to have my dog kind of close to me, like I just mentioned with the stay close. And then, Hershey, hey, wait. Good boy. And then we'll do our check. Okay, let's go. And we'll go ahead and cross. This is another situation where that stay close command is going to be really nice, because if we just want to hurry up and cross this little thing, let's say there's an open field on one side, an open field on the other side, we just need to get across real quick. Great, tell them to wait, check and make sure there's no cars coming, go ahead and let them go. Sometimes I'll just release them and let them go depending on what's on the other side. Other times I'll make them stay close. So if I was going to be wanting them to stay close, it'd be like this. Wait. Good. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and cross, right? And again, I'm doing this all with the intention of not having to hurry up and put the leash back on the dogs just because I've come to a crossway. Other than that, there really aren't too many special things that I'm going to teach them. It's going to be a lot of recall, a lot of working on their attention, and then just kind of using these little things to make my life easier so I don't have to constantly recall them, leash them, walk like 12 feet, let them off, recall them, leash them. No, I can just keep them in a pretty close proximity to me the entire time while still allowing them that freedom to wander off and do their thing. But I know that I have a couple things in my toolbox where if I need them to be in close proximity, I know that they will be. So those are just some of the things that I'm going to be working on anytime I'm taking my dog out and about and working with them in a new location, or if I'm trying to start working them off leash for the first time, just to make sure that I don't run into any issues. Obviously, if you guys have any questions, please reach out. Otherwise, I hope you guys all have a wonderful rest of your day.